The White House admits that Afghanistan fell much faster to the Taliban than anticipated.
And now the U.S. is scrambling to evacuate American civilians and Afghan allies. CBS 2's Jessica Layton here in studio with more on these new developments today. Jessica?
Christine and Dick, a crazy few hours here. President Biden says the U.S. military is still helping Americans to evacuate. In fact, 6,000 U.S. troops have been sent to Afghanistan to help do just that after the collapse that has been so much more rapid than most could have imagined. Still, President Biden is standing firm, saying there was never a good time to leave that country. In heart-wrenching moments captured by cameras, thousands of Afghans rushed onto the tarmac of Kabul International Airport. So desperate to escape the terrifying Taliban grip, they tried holding on to an American military jet as it took off. At least 7 were killed in this chaos to flee the crisis.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. That's why we're still there. The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated.
Monday, President Biden addressed the nation on the Taliban's swift takeover of Afghanistan, placing much of the blame of the deterioration on Afghan armed forces who wouldn't protect their own country.
American troops cannot and should not be fighting in a war and dying in a war that Afghan forces are not willing to fight for themselves. There is no chance that 1 year, 1 more year, 5 more years, or 20 more years, the U.S. military boots on the ground would have made any difference.
Taliban fighters swept the Afghanistan capital of Kabul Sunday, seemingly undoing in a matter of hours the stability the U.S. military spent 20 years working to achieve. Senator Mitch McConnell calls it an utter disaster.
People clinging to the side of the airplane, desperate, trying to get out of there because they know they're going to be killed by the Taliban because they were collaborating with us. What does that say to friends of America around the world? You can't depend on us.
Earlier today, the United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting in New York City.
I urge all parties, especially the Taliban, to exercise utmost restraint to protect lives and to ensure that humanitarian needs can be met.
Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, a member of the Armed Services Committee, is worried about getting innocent people out of Afghanistan as fast as possible.
And we can do plenty. Cutting through red tape, providing resources, enabling all who risk their lives for us to evacuate, protecting the women and girls.
Now, Blumenthal, a Democrat, is also concerned about an attack by the Taliban members on the U.S. now. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham agreed today, saying we are less safe as a nation. His exact words, the likelihood of an attack coming from Afghanistan now is through the roof. Dick and Christine.
Jessica, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.